Hello everyone, and welcome back. It is November 5th at 4:39 p.m. Pacific time. My name is Alexis, and I have a bunch of really cool stuff to show you today. There has been cosmic energy coming in from the sun. It's causing the Schumann resonance and the solar wind, the whole magnetosphere, the whole ionosphere of the planet to be going through a lot. So that's the brief update, and I'll show you the data about that. It's really cool to see what we're dealing with right now. It's always a different cocktail of stuff, but the more you watch the details, it's easier to kind of predict how the future sort of storms, solar storms and stuff, how they affect you. So hold on for that if you can. I'm going to do the card reading for today, and I have a very interesting pull to share with you. I have, first of all, the Page of Fire, the Messenger of Fire, and it is a news of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity, the Page of Fire. And to follow up this card is another very wonderful card, is the Knight. So the Page is usually a messenger. The Knight is usually someone who actually delivers the item to the person. So we have a delivery, and this is basically saying it's time to buckle down and get things done, to honor our commitments. And so they're loyal, dedicated, honorable, kind. Again, the Knight of Earth, Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of physical things. So it looks to me like this is going to be a creative project or endeavor that is happening soon, and it's time to buckle down and get it done. So what is it in your physical world that is news of an exciting endeavor? What is this endeavor you're working towards? What are the physical things that you need to get done to bring that into your reality? So that's a heads up for you. Again, I decided to pull a card from the Lightworker Oracle tarot deck that Jace got me for my birthday this year because I love it. And last time I pulled the Soul Child, and this time I pulled it again. And so I decided to re-up the message. And I just lost my page here. It's right here. And I wanted to read part of it because it comes with this whole book, but I'm not going to read you the whole thing. I'm just going to read you the part that I was drawn to. And it says, "Let confidence in your new self emerge. Reflect upon how different you are now to a year or even a month ago. Be curious about who you are now. Do not expect the same reactions or experiences you encountered in your past." That's a big one. "It is time of celebration and acknowledgement that a new day, a new you, has begun a journey in the physical world. You shall enjoy the divine harvest of your growth and effort." So big message still seems to be coming through for this month. We got that at the beginning of the month, basically, and so we're 5 days in, and we're still our beautiful little soul child self. So engage with your inner child, when things are getting tough. And don't expect things to work out the way that they've done in the past. You are moving into a new world. You are raising your vibration. You are opening up your pineal gland. Your intuition is stronger. These energies coming in are supposed to allow for that process to become more obvious and more, I wouldn't say involuntary, but it kind of is. But we volunteered to go through this process as we incarnated. At least that's what I believe. I came to this planet during this time with this inspiration, with this ability, with this purpose in a way, and it's to go through this whole process. So we are doing that right now. Things are new, things are different, and pursue whatever it is that this exciting new endeavor is. That's my advice to you. So let's jump into the news. So last year, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there was an asteroid discovered called Oumuamua. This happened around October 2017. And just the other day, just yesterday, I shared on the Facebook page that there was a follow-up of this story. There has been a few follow-ups since an original story, and I've been watching this one very closely and carefully because I have my own beliefs and my own intel. It's 4:44 right now about what this thing is and how beautiful of an opportunity it is for disclosure of other civilizations. And so it's amazing to me that a year has gone by, and that they're still talking about it. They're bringing it back in, and the head article titles are saying could be an alien spacecraft. And it says, could have been a spacecraft sailing past us, an interstellar object that's sent from another civilization. They've used spacecraft in 2 out of 3 of these article titles just by searching it. Like, I barely put in the effort. And the articles I read about it were fantastic. They had specialists from NASA, from Harvard, from a couple other groups that study these types of objects and that have some sort of name or placard about themselves and how they're official they are. I don't really care, because I already feel like this is just going to keep developing. And there was a lot of cliffhangers in a lot of these too. It was like, and we'll see, this is exciting, and we're excited for the next interstellar object to reach. It's kind of like already like, this is great, we are so exciting, and I can't wait for the new thing. It's not like, oh my gosh, is this even real? It's almost as if they're accepting it as true, and that they're excited to research more of these objects, which is fantastic. They're also saying it may be traveling by solar sail technology, which is fine. I don't know how I feel about that personally. I don't know if it's necessary, but the weird trajectory it's doing, it seems like it has some sort of directive. It's not working with the physics, I don't think, that if it was just tumbling through space without any sort of help. It seems like that's what they're trying to say. I don't know if that's true, but anyways, the specifics aren't as important sometimes, but this rock, this old craft that's been, shuttled into our solar system or something as perhaps a prop, or perhaps as part of a disclosure narrative that has been accepted by the multiple layers of secret government, who knows, and that this is what they've chosen. I feel like this is I think it's a very smart idea, and I'm down for this story. If this is the thing that basically convinces everyone that it basically is, being like, yeah, this is a spacecraft. Wow. Next question. It's so funny to me. But anyways, I'm geeking out a bit about it. I want to have a shirt with a Oumuamua on it or something, but it kind of just looks like a poop. So it's kind of hilarious to me that this like a space turd is going to be disclosure, but I'm happy about it. Like, if that's not classic Earth, I don't know what is. It's like everything's a meme now, and otherwise it's not even real. And so the next thing I wanted to show you, which is an advancement in actually the science that we've been doing together on this channel, watching the Schumann resonance, was saying that, and this is on the Suspicious Observer, showed me this today, and this Journal of Atmospheric and Solar Terrestrial Physics mentions that there is an analysis of the dynamics of the ionospheric parameters during periods of increased solar activity and magnetic storms. So literally this, I'm going to break it down to what I think is what they're saying, is this is when we're getting magnetic storms, we're getting activity. And so basically they're saying that during periods of strong, moderate magnetic storms, the parameters of strong, where am I? There we go. We allocated ionospheric disturbances, which is what the Schumann is in. The ionosphere is where the Schumann resonance, that vibration, is hanging out. It says disturbances preceding, accompanying the periods of magnetic storms in analyzing regions. So it's interesting. It seems to be saying that there is an increase in the electron concentration of the ionospheric preceding the onset of magnetic storms. So this is potentially saying that the Schumann resonance is getting more excited and the electron flux before we get all of this solar wind, which did impact us today. And we saw that the Schumann resonance was going off all night before this impact hit. And we also had a blast a couple days earlier, but that was a little weird. I think that one was a bit on its own because we didn't get the impact. It just rolled into 2 days of quiet. So the 2 days that I didn't film, we weren't having Schumann resonance activity. And so now we are, and we had it, and all of the solar wind and everything has hit us too. So this is cool. It's a nice verifier for me. If you want to see this article, I can put it in the description. I will try to remember to do that. And otherwise, it's on Suspicious Observer's newest video. It's under his video today, too. Yeah, so cosmic rays, everything, excellent. I want to say thank you again to all my patrons. If you want to have a session with me every month, you have that option. If you pledge $50 or more, I will meet with you for an hour and a half every month, if to your request. Otherwise, we can arrange something else. It doesn't have to be like that. We're very flexible. As many of you who are watching this right now and have done sessions with me, we are flexible. I'm not trying to make, you know, your life more stressful or trying to make it. I'm just trying to be there for you and be that connection, so you to assist you and aid you and be there with you through your ascension. And I'm trained for this. And so if you'd like that, that link is in the description. We're looking at the magnetosphere. There was some wacky ass stuff going on this chart earlier today. I wish I could have shown you. I tried to screenshot it, could not figure out how to screenshot it. It's like I've lost my brain. I don't know, I don't remember how to do it. But the lines were like literally loop-D-ing, like curlicuing forwards in front of the planet, which was totally odd. No idea what was going on with that. And we can see here that there was actual energy that hit our planet. It's much easier to see the bands of basically heat. You can see there blasting past us, which is pretty awesome. Really glad to get to finally use this chart to show you what these impacts are like. And last night on the Schumann resonance, about 10 p.m. Pacific time, we got a blast. The blast was started almost at noon yesterday and has been happening. All of this data has been coming in. The Earth has been ringing basically since yesterday at noon, the 4th, and until right now. It's still having activity. So the highest point that it reached was a 61, and that happened around 10 p.m. last night. And I'll show you another representation of this so you can see. So this was the quiet days that we had. There was a little bit of something on the 4th, nothing huge. And then into today, it's literally all day long we're having Schumann resonance activity. The ionosphere is excited. So what else does this mean? Weirdly enough, the actual Schumann resonance, again, 7.83, went really weird during these times. So again, 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, one of the tones, 7.83 is the white line, and then the notes down, because it's a scale, it's mathematically, there's just mathematically equal and lower wavelengths, I guess higher wavelengths. From 7.83 it goes up to 14, and then it keeps going on a proper scale, the Schumann resonance scale, which I have a link for in the description, like I always do if you want to check that out. And so that second line did some really odd behavior when that big pulse came in at 10 p.m. Very strange, literally a bump, like a huge mountain difference, a whole how many hours where it was hanging out in a whole different frequency than it usually does. And again, it did it with the resonant below. So then the red line did the exact same thing. The white line was doing weird stuff. Like, it's this very bizarre behavior, I think, is actually due to the fact that when these waves of cosmic energy, well, it's from the sun, from this giant coronal hole, I'm pretty sure we have a huge geomagnetic storm happening right now. So when the stuff is hitting us, the actual ionosphere is changing shape. Like you can see in this graphic right here, oh sorry, this one, where it's actually getting like kind of molded and pushed. And so I think that might have something to do with why the actual frequencies kind of change, because the shape of the container they're in is changing too. That's my theory right now. I think that's how I'm understanding it's working. Overall, I can't tell you if there's any specific energy waves coming into parts of the world because they are blocking two of my sites, and I don't see anything from today either, just on the 4th, which we know was a quiet day. So here's what the sun's looking at right now. I will show you all the crazy graphs we have. We went from 100 or 50 kilometers below average per second of solar wind to about 200 above average. So it's a 250 kilometer per second jump throughout the day, and we've been riding in a higher 100 kilometers over average solar wind. We're getting a bit of solar wind. We're getting hit with it for sure. So what does solar wind usually mean? I find that it means that your bodies get a little bit more sore, your muscles and your connective tissue, your bones. You may want to stretch, you may want to lay down. It's okay, all good. I also wanted to show you this giant wave here, you can see, and it turns like white. Did you see that right at the end here? This is our little planet, and this turns white. Like something was, this giant wave of energy just barely missed us, and it would have, I feel like it would have just cooked us. Like it's actually crazy. And it just went by our planet. Like this is the energy from the sun, and it just missed us. It looks like. So that's great, because that would have been really intense. And the x-rays obviously shifted. You can see this here. There's anomalies, and we got a bunch of red. The geomagnetic storm has happened. It was earlier today, more around noon. We were in it, and 11 noon, and throughout the day it's been getting less intense. So that is my report. We went into radiation storm levels briefly with the electrons because there was so much influx, but again, things are leveling off, it looks like. So nothing too crazy to report. It's not going to go on for more than one day or anything. The earthquakes seem to be average. They're just constantly, the earth is constantly giving us quakes just all over the place. These big ones, at least a 5, magnitude 5, but they're deep in the earth. Like the earth is just kind of like, it's getting all this energy, and it's kind of just like shuffling on deeper levels. It looks like this weird pattern is emerging here with the global consciousness dot. It goes into the blue and back up to the orange. Like it's been bouncing in very like normal sine wave looking behavior throughout the last 24 hours, which is very strange. I haven't really seen it this way before. So the collective consciousness, I guess, is just going through big waves throughout the day. I'm not really sure. I'd love to hear if any of you guys have any thoughts on that. On the 6th, so tomorrow, Uranus is retrograding back into the sign of Aries. In May, Uranus entered Taurus and is now moving back into Aries to complete its transit, which will take until March 2019. So it's going to be a few more months, and then it's going to go back into Taurus. And so it's basically a time when we're returning to unfinished business and getting that done before March comes around and forces us to move forward again. The QAnon phenomena is still happening. They're posting, tomorrow is voting day in the United States, where this whole thing is basically convincing everyone to encourage people who are corrupt to get voted out. I'm hoping that's the goal, but it seems like it's more of a blue versus red thing. It's still a division, in my opinion, because you're competing parties, and this is not a competition. This is an ascension, and everybody's got to go. So the whole back forth thing, I don't really resonate with that, but that's not my path. That's not where I'm at right now, but I'm still observing it because I was there one time. I used to be in competitive sorts. It didn't really resonate with me then, even as a child, but still giving love and non-judgment to my fellow man, because we are all here. I'm here with you. I'm no better than you. We're doing this together. And so this is what's going on, it seems like, and people are wearing QAnon stuff and getting posted on here, and it seems like this interesting cheerleading effect that's happening. Funny, I just mentioned I did competitive cheerleading, but I'm watching QAnon just kind of be this cheerleading that's happening to keep people encouraged to basically, where we go one, we go all, which I appreciate and is more of an ascension message for me. So that's why I also watch this, because where are you shepherding the all? My anonymous friend, I'm keeping tabs on you as I'm keeping tabs on myself and doing my part as a discerning being on this planet. So it seems like everything's going fine, though. Nothing too crazy. People are getting riled up and amped up. They're being fed their QAnon fix and getting that hope and excitement in their hearts a bit about this election. So whatever's going to happen tomorrow, I have no idea. But we're going to all find out together and put it in the Ascension diary. So last thing I wanted to say is that they're talking about Trump and this plan to basically get everything all sorted out. And then the news stories are basically like, hey, we pulled Trump's racist ads off of Facebook. And so it's so funny how there's so much variation about the information coming out on Trump and what he's creating and what he's doing, and that actual news platforms and stuff, which are generally used by the government, are specifically attacking the head of state, which is extremely bizarre to see in a country, any country. So just stepping back and observing that particular phenomena is enough to make me go, this is a giant puppet show of learning for the planet. So that's my opinion. And I think that's all for me today on this video. I'm so happy to see you all again. Thank you so much for your sweet comments. I really do read them all. I respond to them all. At least I try. And I really like our community. I'm attempting to bridge out and bring this content to more people. So if you'd be willing to share or encourage anyone you know to watch it or share it, I don't know, write something in the comments if there's any ideas you have about people I could collaborate with. I would be very pleased, but I believe I would like to reach a larger audience. We're at 2,000 subscribers now, and the Schumann resonance info I think is very important, and I've been hearing it being talked about more and more and more by lots of people in the community. It's spreading, and that's what I came here to do. When I heard the Schumann resonance, it was like, ding, like you must work on this, and so that's what I've been doing. And it seems to be important because it's not going away. It's only slowly increasing in popularity. So that's that, and I love you, and I can't wait to see you again very soon. And until then, I love you, angels. Go out there and spread love and light and keep the balance, keep the peace, be the stillness in the storm. Goodbye, guys.